Hey guys, this is the Hug Patrol. We are talking about the Calgary Expo today. I believe we're not the first either, so get ready for a long ride. All right, so basically what's happened is that the Honey Badger Radio Hug Patrol, of which our own Rachel Edwards is a part of, got basically, as far as I understand it, blacklisted from the expo, or the expo and all the expos that company puts on for the forever. And the reason that they have stated we are talking about the Calgary Expo today, of which the reasons are supposedly many. One was the email. I think that they said the Allison Tiemann didn't register it right, or it was not a part of HBR. Now, this would be totally fine, I guess, if it was in the policy, but the deal is that it's really not. The thing was that they recognized the HBR banners before they recognized anything else. They knew Honey Badger Radio was there yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just now come up with this email excuse.
And even then, the email excuse would only get them out of that particular convention. That's just a registration error at most.
But they also, the thing is, they actually registered as HBR. It was just a mix-up with email addresses.
The thing is, it doesn't matter because Allison's comic, Xenospora, is directly tied with men's rights and directly tied with Honey Badger. She promotes it all the time. They're both her thing. So it's not, it's like saying, I don't know, it's nonsense.
Yeah, it's nonsense. Should not have happened.
But it did because of the Mary Sue, I'm sure. I know it's the Mary Sue somehow. They pulled strings.
Well, they also had the 25 complaints of harassment that they never went into. They had gone in, and with this altercation with, I guess, the staff of the expo, they'd gone in to tell them, turn off. We're going to ask you to leave. Turn off your cameras. Stop recording and whatnot. And even after they turned it off, they still didn't tell them other than, we've got 25 complaints of harassment, without going into any further detail.
Honestly, that is just such a classic trick for them to just spam harassment, even if they're not involved.
Because here's the thing, most companies don't want to deal with trouble, and stuff like this. So their instinct, just politics aside, is to, if a lot of people are complaining very loudly to them, then to just get rid of the problem by the most expedient means necessary. Was that the right thing to do? No. Or is there collusion? Maybe. But that is something many companies do, especially if there is a lot of marketing and PR involved in how things function. Because marketing and PR hate controversy.
Yeah, I understand that, but complete and utter blacklist from not only this specific convention, but from any future other conventions hosted by the company is way overkill.
That is overkill, and that's not usually how such matters are handled from what I know of cons.
No, they're definitely not.
Like, you don't just blackmail. Unless the accusations were really heinous, but then wouldn't you at least look into them more? I don't really know.
Blacklists are generally reserved for when an actual crime has been committed.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And what they did was not a crime. They were confrontational, but not a crime.
They weren't even really that confrontational, and I listened to the whole thing. What they brought up ended up creating some interesting discussions, even though the women talking about women in comics were kind of narcissistic and boring.
Yeah.
It created some interesting dialogue that they ended up referencing later without Allison or Sage saying anything.
Also,
which is the entire point of those panels.
One of the
To
big
be
issue
honest, the
that
speakers
I've
are
got,
secondary.
one of the big issues that I'm having with this is that um, they are using an excuse. One is the email. Now they've put out like 6 different reasons, like all at different times, and this doesn't make any sense. What that's really indicative of is a company panicking, or a small entity of company panicking. They don't know which one is the one that's going to work, so they put out a bunch of them, hoping one will stick.
Yeah, and then it just made them look really stupid.
Yeah.
Right.
What I'm wondering is the staff that's there are multiple different layers of staff, so I'm wondering if some staff did something, but other staff is sort of covering for them because they tend to be really close knit, but probably realizes that it was a dumb idea that the other staff did. That's another potential situation.
Right. They
Because there isn't always a lot of communication during an event.
Yeah, but that event doesn't sound safe, honestly, if that can happen. Somebody doesn't like what you say, so they're like, oh, they're harassing me. And
Well,
then they're removed and banned forever.
Yep. I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just trying to.
That just seems so unsafe in terms
No,
of
I don't like it either.
that kind of backs up my previous statement when you're talking about nobody tends to communicate during these events, and now you've got 6 different excuses as to why HBR was blacklisted, kicked out and blacklisted. It's a bunch of different people basically creating a bunch of different excuses, and it's like, which one is it? Tell us definitively which excuse is it?
Yeah, it's a perfect example of scrambling to do damage control. When Comics Alliance, when they had to deal with the one guy that worked there who harassed a woman in comics like not so long ago for many years, and that was exposed by the woman on Twitter, they were scrambling and they wrote 2 posts that were trying to go like, well, he's okay now, like, no one's perfect. Feminists, sometimes they say bad things, but we think he's on the level now. It's like, and then he wrote a thing apologizing, but not really apologizing. It was so weird. And then, like, recently they've written another thing, like, going, oh yeah, feminists aren't perfect. Sometimes they make mistakes. Really? Well, why can't you apply that to men's rights activists or Gamergate, or anyone, that people aren't perfect, and so they shouldn't be destroyed because they said something you didn't like?
People, it's a weird thing. People will tend to spout people can change rhetoric until the person is not on their side.
There was actually a post by Calgary Expo, and it was Torchist. And it was, I think it was a post by HBR. It says, in April of this year, this is coming from the Honey Badgers, the Honey Badgers plan to put out a booth at the Calgary Comics and Entertainment Expo. We plan to infiltrate nerd culture cunningly disguised as their own. Each of us has been carefully crafting a persona of nerdiness through decades of dedication to comics, science fiction, fantasy, comedy games, and other geekery, waiting for this moment, our moment, to slip among the unaware. Once there, we will start disturbing the totalitarian message that nerd and gamer culture is. Perfectly wonderful just as it is, and should be left alone to go its own way. Okay, so say, for example, that they were totally serious about, in what they were saying with this message. What they're saying is that what the Calgary Expo is saying is that they don't care. Go home, gamer girl.
Yep.
That's exactly what they're
saying.
Go
home, gamer girl, and go home, minorities, minority males, because everyone keeps. I know it's not super big of a deal, but everyone keeps ignoring the fact that Brian Martinez, who does his own indie comic, his own webcomic, he has been banned from them as well, the expos and stuff, along with Honey Badgers, because he was there with them.
You're
And he,
absolutely,
What? Really? I love this stuff.
Latino or whatever.
you're absolutely.
And they also banned Sage, who is a ginger, but yeah, he's also neurodivergent. Like originally, I think he thought he thought he was autistic, but he might be something else. But still, he's neurodivergent. So they banned him as well. The only person that they had a legitimate claim for banning because of being a white male was Dr. Random McCam.
Synthevine actually brought this up in one of his posts, that a lot of people were saying something about, it's against women, it's against women. Another guy had posted that they're mocking the SJWs and using their logic and tactics. The thing is that Synthevine's right. You can't discern that from outside Gamergate.
Mm-hmm.
It looks
I think
exactly.
I might be getting Rachel to join us.
Oh, that'd be great.
That's perfect.
Yes, that would be awesome. I hadn't been able to get a hold of her any at all.
She just posted a picture of Calgary, and she's like, "It's still a gorgeous city."
I talked to Dean Esme, but he didn't really have anything to say on it.
He wasn't really there, so.
Yeah, I thought he might have more, but this is just a long shot. What I really want to do is get a chronological list of events, so that we can actually see what's bullshit with, or what is logically bullshit with their excuses and what's not. Even though we can see, all these are bullshit reasons, but we want to logically be able to prove them as bullshit, not just say that's bullshit.
Yeah, it's funny how this is really making the comic book industry, the people in the comic book industry, freak out and go like, "Oh, anti-Gamergate, anti-Gamergate!" Like Mark Waid, he's just being a total asshole. Like, oh yeah, women can be internalized misogyny. I think it would be a waste of time for me to speak to these female Gamergate people who were there. It would just be a waste of my time. It's like, oh, because you're an asshole? Okay. We should buy all those Daredevil comics.
The only women that matter are his women, because he's misogynist.
So basically, he's saying that he feels that his writing and artistry should be affected by outside things that he really otherwise wouldn't have done.
Mm-hmm.
He's letting outside influences affect his artistic work.
Well, clearly he doesn't even care about any of this. He's just like, oh, I'm just gonna go with what I'm told to believe.
Yeah.
Rachel!
Rachel!
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi, guys. Hi.
Hey,
How are you doing, Rachel?
I'm good. I might have to actually change the settings and not use any video because it looks like it's not showing up. But
Okay.
Hold on a second. Give me.
Twitter, why are you being stupid? I just want to change my profile picture.
Okay. So.
When is Twitter ever?
I can tell you it's just on. Are we live now
Yeah.
or no?
Yeah, we're live.
Hi. Right now? Okay. So hi guys, how are you?
We're doing okay. How are you? Is Calgary treating
What
you?
about you?
I've got a bit of a headache, but otherwise fine. Can you hear me okay? Do you need me to get closer?
Basically, we can hear you pretty well.
Are you on Karen's computer again?
No, I'm on my phone, and that's one of the reasons why we haven't been able to have as much communication with everybody, because a lot of us just have our cell phones.
Yeah.
And ready access to computers, and we only have so much data allowance. So, and we're not rich people, but yeah, and we can tell you what.
Get you out.
So, I mean, do you guys have any questions? Because I can tell you what happened.
Start from the beginning.
What we want is basically a list of a chronological list of events that happened. Could you do me a favor and walk me through yesterday? Just kind of a quick walkthrough yesterday.
Okay. It's so basically I'll give you a little bit of background. So we did a crowdfunding, and to come out here and have this booth. We were going to talk about taking a stand against censorship, but also there to promote Allison's comic and, and the podcast. Just a, kind of a bundle of sorts,
Yeah.
And so, a lot of us flew out, we're on a plane for like a long, long time. I was on a very small plane, two very small planes, but I can't really look the gift horse in the mouth. The patrons were awesome to even get us out there. But, we were all like totally exhausted first day, which was, we got in on Wednesday. And so Thursday, and it was really involved. It took a long time. It took hours, I think, to get everything up. So, just the framing and everything like that to hang everything on, organizing merchandise. But, when they opened the doors, we were there at the booth, and we didn't have as many people come because it was a very slow day. And but we did have a handful of people that did come and talk to us. Some actually knew who we were and were fans of the show, and they came up and bought merchandise, things like that. I took some pictures, and I said, okay, well, we'll put them up on Twitter, and you guys might like this. Because it's really good art. So, and what happened was, it was really, really quiet for the longest time. And so friends, it was kind of me doing a back and forth between looking at other booths and complimenting people's art and stuff like that, and being at the booth, which was incredibly uneventful. So basically,
let me stop you there. So did you have the HBR signs up already?
Yes, we did. We had all of them up. Nobody freaked out immediately or anything like that. I think some people gave us dirty looks, but other than that, I think that was like the full extent of any kind of thing early on. We saw, like, Allison was gone for a very long time. We had no idea where she went to for the longest time, but it turned out that her and Sage had decided to go to I think it was sort of a talk about body positivity and just women in general in comics. So Allison attended, and Sage was there. And, because we knew what might happen, we made sure to have an audio recording of it. So, Sage has a good recorder, so there you go. Also, another thing that we did was we put up sort of a security camera, which they didn't really like. Apparently, we found out later, I think they weren't too keen on that. So we probably have a couple of hours of footage of, like, nothing happening. We're just there doing booth stuff, like eating bagels and selling merchandise and talking to people.
Let me ask you a question. Were you guys were not selling Gamergate related material, were you?
No, we were.
You were?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so were you the guys with the Gamergate and the yellow and white sign?
Oh, the thing that said, like, ethics and then said take a stand against censorship? Yes.
Yes. That was you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
We had the poster. We also had, I think we had a Vivian James button. And I'm trying to think what else we might have had. But the rest of the stuff was Badger related or Xenospora, which is her comic related.
Wow.
And so, that's what we did.
Can you address the issue that they claim that, like, Allison was misrepresenting the panel by linking to the website of Xenospora and not Honey Badger Radio?
Okay, that's really funny, because I don't understand how they can possibly say that, considering the fact that it said right there on our badges, Honey Badger Brigade. It also said, the sign, which was the placeholder for us, said Honey Badger Brigade.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a simple Google search of Honey Badger Brigade would tell you exactly what we do. Also, Allison, I think, asked to make sure that everyone was comfortable and things. I think she addressed staff concerning her personal concerns that she didn't know, because we knew that we were controversial, so we did check with the staff to make sure everything was okay, and everything was it was really fine with them. In fact, our booth was right in front of a staff table. So there are multiple witnesses that saw us do nothing but just, stand there and, sell merchandise and talk to some people maybe. We weren't really inflammatory or anything like that. We were very polite, and we only spoke to people about the stuff, people who wanted to talk about it. So only people who brought it up and said, I think it's cool what you're doing or something like that. We didn't go into it unless we felt that the person was going to be receptive.
Let me ask you another question. Were there any actual people on the panel who at least seemed sympathetic to the questions that you guys were asking, or did they all?
Rachel wasn't there, right, Rachel?
Well, I wasn't there, but there's actually a full recording of the whole thing, the whole audio in full, on the Honey Badger Radio YouTube, and so you can.
Yeah, I listened to that and I was like, well, they don't actually seem that upset by the question.
They didn't seem to be yet. Later on, they decided to call it harassment.
I suspect that it might not have been the panel hosts themselves. It could have been people in the audience claiming it.
The person who brought it to Sam Meg's attention, it was like her name is like @BRITL. She brought it to her attention, and then Sam Meg started freaking out about it, and then an article got posted on the Mary Sue by Jill Pezza blah blah boob or whatever.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
sort of what happened with that.
The interesting thing, early this morning, what happened was I decided to check Twitter to see if anybody liked the pictures and stuff. They posted yesterday, which really didn't, it didn't get as much attention or anything because it's just con photos. Like we posted pictures of Anna Cherry in her badger costume, which was very cute, and people even wanted to take pictures with her, and it was really adorable, and so everything seemed really, really cool for a while. But early this morning, I tried to warn Alice. I'm like, they're trying to tweet at Calgary Expo to shut us down, and there was no response. So I knew that shit was going down. So I was like, oh god, they're gonna try to shut us down. And at first I thought, maybe if they had a proper investigation. I said to myself, okay, they're going to have a proper investigation, so, we're going to be fine because we didn't break any rules. We were actually really good about making sure that we didn't break any rules, but there was no investigation. What happened was this. They pulled Allison aside, and this is what she told me, was corroborated by other people. They said that she could not be in front of other people while they discussed it. And apparently the first thing that they said is that you have to leave. There was no asking of our side of the story or anything like that. There was no discussion. There was no call asking about what, the controversy or what's going on here that were given to us. It was, you have to go. And so then Allison asked, okay, why? What did we do? What rule did we break? So that we know what we did, and they didn't want to give an official statement or anything like that. In fact, they didn't want to do it on the record, and they said we won't tell you this while you're recording, so we won't go on the record about this. So they pull Allison aside, and they tell her that they received 25 complaints over social media.
Okay, wait. Okay, these people were not even at the expo. They were complaining over social media.
So it could have been anyone that wasn't actually there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of people are really upset that we had to leave because a lot of people flew in or are traveled out here to come see us or were intending to do so and purchase a ticket for a specific day. Some of them wanted, Allison to be able to sign the books that they bought from her, the comic book. Just a lot of different things, and that won't happen now. But basically, what happened was, Allison was.
Allison could still have a meetup somewhere outside of the convention, right?
Actually, we're planning on doing that. We're actually trying to find some place right now that's going to be okay for us to do something like that.
Don't publicize it too much.
No, it's not. No, we don't know where yet, but it's going to be mostly for people that we knew that were coming, things like that. Fans, things like that. We're not really trying to be inflammatory or have any kind of MRA meetup. We just want to be able to hang with people that wanted to come see us anyway.
Yeah.
And maybe get them the merchandise that they wanted to buy in the first place. And that's the thing. So.
Did you see the actual news article on it?
I haven't read as many of the articles yet because it's kind of a whirlwind, kind of like being in the eye of the storm. It's kind of crazy. So what happened was this. So Allison talked to them. They said that there were complaints. And we had to go. They wouldn't statement. I can't remember what they told her exactly. I think it was just mainly that the complaints were not, they had a zero tolerance policy for engage in harassment. And then some media sources were saying that we were harassing at the panel, or that there's, an MRA plot to fuck with the panels and stuff like that. No, but we did.
I want to ask you something that Madcap asked in the chat. Rachel, how do you respond to the accusation that you made a threat to infiltrate the con?
Okay, we were fucking joking.
I know.
Okay. The thing about it is that when we're saying, like, oh, we've spent all of our lives waiting for this moment in anticipation, I mean, I'm a real fucking nerd. I even wore my nerdy shirt today. I kind of wish I'd worn my nerdy shirt yesterday because, I was thinking, okay, today is not the big day, so I want to save it for the big con days, the Friday and the Saturday kind of deals. But, yeah, I mean, there's accusations going around that we're not real geek girls.
Yeah, how dare you.
Well, here's the thing.
I thought it was a hilarious joke. I don't see what was so offensive.
Yeah,
what would it have mattered even if they were not joking? It wouldn't have.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that so we it was a joke. We were just being, and it was meant to be for our audience who know that we're, but we were really going there to definitely say that we do take an anti-censorship position.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important. And that's the funny thing because all the posters were making. The poster was making a reference to, was saying, we're take a stand against censorship. That was a poster that was for sale.
There are many levels of irony here.
Yeah, and we also had a Vivian James button that says, "Be the player, not the ball," because of the joke of like Anita Sarkeesian made in gaming women are the ball or whatever, and so it was.
In the game of patriarchy, women are not the opposing team. They are the ball.
The ball. Yeah. Oh gosh, it was.
So wait, Rachel, I've got to ask you a question.
Okay.
Did you level up?
Oh, I totally leveled up.
Somebody took screenshots from the episode.
Actually, we did go home. Kind of. Well, we went to Alice's dad's home, but close enough. We also.
Rachel, did you see the screenshots from that episode of the SVU? But they labeled it and stuff. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh! It was hilarious.
Oh, Gamergate girls.
In the game of song, women are the ball and the paddles are penises.
Oh gosh. It's so incredibly ridiculous. All of the excuses that they're trying to give for why we were kicked out. But the truth of the matter is they don't have any real grounds to kick us out. And the thing about it is that this came after they had sort of a hashtag thing trying to express that they now had a zero tolerance harassment policy, which was basically trying to say that we promote women, we're pro-women, we're pro-diversity, and we want to be inclusive to all of those people. And what do? They take that moment to say, we're going to kick you out because you don't have the right opinions.
No philosophies.
Yeah.
Bad think!
Yeah, we don't have the right ideas, so we don't count. You know, I'm half Puerto Rican. People don't know this because I'm pale as fuck. But you know, I am a Latin woman, or at least half Latin. But people say, you know, those white Latinos, they don't fucking matter. But okay.
You're passing. Whatever that means.
Rachel,
And Brian is also Puerto Rican.
Rachel,
Uh,
how does it feel knowing that Jane's got your back?
what, James?
Jane!
Adam Baldwin.
Baldwin
Yeah,
tweeted
oh
about you
my
guys.
god, I was totally geeking out. I was like, oh my god, and Christina Hoff Summers tweeted it and was like, oh my god. So
And Nero.
yes, I know, and his perfect hair.
Yeah, hopefully, Libertarian Blue or whatever, or Nero or somebody talks
Yeah,
with you guys.
I tried tweeting back a message. Well, not tweeting, but I tried private messaging. Libertarian, they're like, oh, hello, I heard you wanted to talk to me. This is the Honey Badger Brigade. You know, Rachel from Honey Badger Brigade. So, but, like, no response. So I don't know. But,
Well,
yeah,
we've,
hoping they'll contact us back.
We've,
Already,
Dude, but Kotaku in Action had to make a mega thread for the expo.
shit. Oh my god.
I'm not joking.
Oh wow. Well, I'm not saying I haven't looked at a lot of things. I have. It's just been so much,
Well,
and it's kind of this roller coaster ride of emotion right now.
well, yeah,
What?
that and it just happened. It's recently here. It happened like what, today
Yeah.
or yesterday?
And the thing is, what I do want to stress is right now, currently, the position that we're taking is we do not want you guys to boycott the exhibitors or have any kind of ill will against the exhibitors. We do want you to let the Calgary Expo know exactly how you feel, though, because they are the ones to blame. They are the ones who made the decision. Unfortunately, you know, I don't want this to affect the exhibitors who are really nothing but super duper nice to me. And we're really great. And the thing about it is there were so many great artists there.
Well, except for
that I
one
would
group who
like
were happy you were ejected.
get
Well, they can stuff it.
a group. And, oh gosh, there were so many different things going on. And we saw the guy who plays Herschel from Walking Dead. That was crazy. And the thing about it is that his hair was longer and he looks different up close, so I didn't recognize him at first. I'm like, who is that? And I fucking embarrassed myself. So I feel so bad about that because now the guy probably thinks like, oh my god, don't you even know anything? I don't know. But, you know, I did really have fun. I really had fun the first day, and I'm even glad to be out here. I'm not anyone particularly special. I do try and do my best to do my part and involve things that I've been. But, you know, imagination, I would not be able to be here if not for the fundraiser that all the patrons and everybody came in and chipped in to get us here. And you can expect us to tell you exactly how we spent the money, and we'll be incredibly transparent about it because we already explained it's going to, I paid for the booth, all these things, and we're also not getting refunded, by the way. They expressed clearly that we're not getting refunded or not seeing any of that.
So not only are you blacklisted from all future conventions, not only the Calgary Expo, but the other conventions hosted by the parent company, but they're not giving you back your money after kicking you out?
What?
Nope.
Nope.
They're not giving us any money. Any of the money back, and you know we did pay for days and for set up for all our things with merchandise. We had to have shirts and things printed out, which is, of course isn't cheap either, because you know whenever you're printing anything out on an indie level, you know that's quite pricey. Things the way that, to give you some context, I did get a degree in graphic design, and to give some context, things usually, when it comes to producing things like that and printing things out, whether it's buttons or shirts or anything like that, it's all cheaper when you produce them in mass. And so on a smaller scale, it ends up being a great deal more expensive.
Is there any possibility you could sell that merc online? I'm sure a lot of people would.
We're going to try. We don't know quite yet what venue we're going to approach for that, but we're going to try and find the quickest way to do that. We might, if there's anybody in the area that wants to come see us, we're probably going to do sort of this meetup kind of thing where people can hang out with us that wanted to come hang out with us anyway. We're still trying to find out what's a good place because we don't want any businesses to feel like they've been associated with us or anything like that. But we do want to be in a public space so people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good.
Something that's happened, actually, the GoFundMe for the Calgary Expo. Now, this is actually quite funny. They're trying to raise $20,000.
Okay, first off, that's not the Calgary Expo themselves, or if it is, they're trying to deny it.
That's what I was just getting at. We don't think that that's real. It's based out of Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Right now, any legal action, we don't know what we're doing yet. But I think one we did ask about that, about the legality of what they've done. I can't remember. I remember a couple people, a good portion of the group went over to talk about.
Did you? All right. Did you have any were there any contracts or terms of things there had to be legal paperwork involved with you doing this? So
there was paperwork that I understand was signed, and they were totally fine. In fact, Allison asked at several points. I'm an MR. She said, "I'm an MRA. Is that going to be a problem?" So when they're sitting here saying, "Oh, we had no idea what they were about or anything like that," and that's therefore grounds to kick us out, that's complete horseshit.
So basically, they let you in because of the money, and then they said, "Now you're out. Leave, and we keep the money."
Yeah, basically they needed a complaint.
Isn't that called extortion?
Yeah.
Well, my suggestion was basically if you have copies of that paperwork, comb over it and see if they violated any of their own agreements.
Allison probably has a copy of that or something because she's very thorough. We also have other material that hasn't been released yet because it's difficult because it's been recorded on phones or just all the ins and outs of being away from home.
Mm-hmm.
Not having all the niceties and equipment that you have back at home. So
yeah,
that's responsible for a good portion of this. Of the lack of communication, because people have been like, "Oh my gosh, we haven't been able to talk to you on Skype or anything like that." Well, we only have so much data available on our phones, and that's our options. So.
Well, one of the
people were worried about you guys. They're like, "Oh no, did they throw him in the pit with a sarlacc?"
Yeah. I thought it was pronounced sarlacc.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Sarlacc. Oh gosh.
Either way, Boba Fett got out of it.
Yeah.
Also, there's so many cool costumes. There was this awesome Spock cosplayer. He's called Spock Vegas. She's fucking dead on. You thought, with the...
Is he as good as Harley's Joker?
A couple subtle things. Because he's dead on her Nimoy. It's crazy. Seriously, Google search that guy. Insanely good cosplayer. I have no idea. Should look that much. Just has that likeness naturally. But, hey, Mike. For who? Oh, I don't know where he is. You want to say hi to Gamergate Hug Patrol at all?
Yes. Hello.
Well, you gotta get closer. And talking to. So we gotta talk to Random or Kim here.
Hey.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Mike, what's up?
I'm halfway between stressed and drunk. I'm hoping to make it all the way to drunk.
I was gonna say, I thought you were always drunk, Mike.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose,
Okay.
considering things that are happening, I don't blame you for attempting to get drunk.
And you
I
know,
was
if you
thinking
want to
to find
convince
that.
If I was
parents,
there, I'd give you all my alcohol.
if you guys want to convince Aaron to take a swing up to Edmonton, I'll say hi to you guys.
Oh,
We might do. We've got plenty of time to fuck around.
exactly. Now we have the whole rest of the week to fuck around.
But we're uploading a video soon as a sort of kindly patrons who've spent hours driving up here or going up here on a bus. We're going to try and meet them at a park nearby the con tomorrow between 12 and 5. And maybe go power something.
I want to.
Tomorrow between
Yes.
12 and 5.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Darkstar, turn up Rachel's volume.
Okay, let me see if I can turn this up.
We have the same volume.
Well, Darkstar has a master.
Yes, we do. We have the same volume.
I'm not using a different microphone.
No. See, I'm just trying to hold it close to his face.
We're on the same sofa.
Well, you've been really quiet the whole time, anyways, and I asked him before.
Closer, but I might make him uncomfortable.
I'm fine with everything.
Are you going to touch Dr. Rendermercam inappropriately?
Right now.
That's my touch. Triggered.
Are you guys planning on trying to go to any other conventions that are not hosted by the parent company, though?
We really want to go to. We really want to go to other conventions in the future.
Just go to random conventions that have nothing to do with nerd culture. Like, go to some sort of, like, baking convention where people bake cakes.
Hey, seriously, go to QuakeCon.
What the fuck is QuakeCon?
A pretty big convention. I know. I kind of want to suggest some, like Mile High Con and Denver Comic Con, mainly because those are the ones I can go to, and then I can get to hang out with you guys. But
that would be awesome.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Wait, Darkstar, didn't you say that, like, if anybody ever wanted to go to QuakeCon, they could stay with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just go stay at Darkstar's.
Oh yes. Wait. Don't you live in Texas?
Yep. That's where QuakeCon is.
And that's the problem with
yeah. Maybe.
How many
Oh.
otters are in the convention?
yeah, considering the heat of Texas in convention season.
Have you ever tried to go to something like Anime Boston?
Well,
I've
this
been
is
to that
actually
before.
my first convention. This was supposed to be my first convention, and so it kind of got derailed. I actually wanted to meet Neil Patrick Harris. Because he was going to come, he was like, confirmed, coming, and PH is coming.
Simon and Happiness people were there. And I didn't,
Oh, really?
yeah, they had a booth
Oh,
in the main, and I
damn.
didn't even get to say hello and say
Oh, I'm such a fan.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh well.
It's okay.
It'll be worth it in the end.
Yeah, because we're just going to handle all this stuff, and we're just going to have a good time.
Come to the Shakespeare Festival in Talent, Oregon, and then stay with me.
You know what? just go to a Renaissance fair
Thou
somewhere.
protest too much.
Just go to all the conventions that have nothing to do with comic books or video games. Just show up and see what happens.
Do you bite your thumb at me, sir? I bite my thumb, sir.
Like on everything I do.
No, just go to anime conventions because they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Well, they do and they don't. It's like Anime Boston. I went there for like 4 times when I was in high school. Anime conventions can get really, really weird.
Well,
Anime
yeah.
is weird.
Well, the technical rate.
So
Yeah, technical rate is fine as long as you're
Like,
anime.
here's the interesting thing, because there were bronies there, people selling pony merchandise and stuff like that, and that's totally okay.
they weren't kicked out for selling that. That's hate speech.
No, but seriously, one year when I went to Anime Boston, like the day before, they have the pick up your tickets a day early so you don't have to wait in line. Somebody realized I was in a school uniform and hugged me because I was a schoolgirl.
Aww.
She was like my con stalker for the entire weekend.
Okay, so that's not cute. That is not cute.
She was an adult.
Oh god. Oh, it was a child?
No. She was an adult, and I was
Oh.
like for all she knew, I could have been 14.
Oh, Jesus! Okay, that's not okay.
It's the magic lesbian rape fairy. It's all fine. It's all good.
Yeah,
Way.
it was a good rape, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I hate that part of the vagina monologues.
Don't get me started on those.
Anyway,
Why do you think I did the
Alright, see you around.
I've been to so many
Mike is going
creepy
right now.
vagina monologue shows.
Mike says he loves all of you guys.
Does he love Honor Jesus?
Yay!
Yes, even you, Otter Jesus.
Yay!
Even you.
Uh-oh.
He accepts
Even
Otter
you, Otter
Jesus
Jesus.
into his heart.
Gotta accept Otter Jesus into your heart.
Yay.
Actually, Rachel
there's
would accept him somewhere else.
there's
At
actually a
least we
really
don't
cool
shun
picture.
non-believers.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say there's also a really cool picture of Dr. Animorcam wearing like a panda hat with a fedora on top of the panda hat to look like the evil panda from his cartoons. That he animates. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, yeah, but so he looks like the character he animates. So it's on Twitter.
Just Lauren B is trying to get on in the stream, but she's struggling.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, she has problems with this every now and then. We both get the same problem every now and
I think
every
she's on
while.
a tablet, and that's why. Anyway.
Oh yeah,
So any
tablets
other
suck for
questions?
tapping.
Do you guys have any other questions? Specific questions?
Mad Cat asked, "Can I accept Utter Jesus in my spleen?" Rachel, is that possible?
I don't know. Can you? I guess you can accept Utter Jesus into any organ or orifice. I don't know.
No.
What do you say?
I don't know how the otter religion works.
Neither do
Like the
I.
religion of the otters. I don't know how that works.
Just give Otter Jesus fish and don't worry about the rest of it.
Okay, so what do you say about some people saying that HBR makes Gamergate political?
The thing about it is, well, no, that's the thing. I don't know because can we really say that it isn't that it hasn't been somewhat political? And we weren't the ones who really made it political, though.
Yeah,
It
it may be political, but it isn't politically aligned to any given party. And the thing is, there's so many different groups involved. Honey Badger is just one of them. There's liberal groups, there's conservative groups, there's feminist groups, there's MRA groups, and we're all working towards the same cause.
Really, free speech is something
we don't
that...
represent all of Gamergate. I agree. We don't. We're just one of many different supporters.
And you have to
voice in the chorus.
The SRWs are just trying to scapegoat the groups like you to say that we're all this one homogenous belief that's to them.
Really, we're just a bunch of people that prefer free speech, no censorship, and we all just happen to like the sound of the hashtag. It's a catchy hashtag.
Well, here's the thing, though. We did not pursue a left or right. To be perfectly honest, we didn't really do that at all. In fact, I think we only talked about men's issues to one or two people. And with the exception of Allison talking to the people at the panel. And her comments were basically about, portraying women as victims being counterproductive to the narrative that we need to help women and encourage them to get into comics and stuff like that, but and empower women. And basically it's counterproductive to portraying women as strong and capable.
Okay, from the chat we got
people that say women aren't allowed to learn to defend themselves because that's victim blaming. What the hell do they want?
Okay, we have 2 questions from the chat. Master Ninja wants to know, I have a question. What was the atmosphere like before they got removed? I think you kind of responded to that earlier.
The atmosphere? I think a couple of people were really, really nervous. A couple of us were nervous at first because we didn't know what the reaction might be, but people were really open, really nice. The people that did come over to the booth, I think some people saw the sign and kind of like made sort of a face and then walked on. But other than that, I think, but that was probably like one or two people. The rest of the people, they just treated us like everyone else. Like the exhibitors never treated us poorly.
Did you ever get any stink eyes from people?
Did we do what now?
Stink eye, where somebody walked by and gave you the stink eye and looked at you weird?
I think it was only when we were at the booth, and only when they saw the Gamergate logo and recognized it. But that was it. Like when I was wandering around the con, everybody just saw me as a potential buyer and an exhibitor, and everything else is cool.
So Will Perkowski asked, Rachel, were you treated with vitriol before you were rudely booted? So kind of responded to that question, right?
They apparently were very, very intimidating as far as, well, this was how it was expressed to me. They were very intimidating to Allison and Hannah, who went there first. Like, I stayed behind and took a shower, and the understanding...
That's so funny.
No, wait, hold on. I stayed behind and took a shower, with the understanding that they had to take Brian to the airport because for some reason they lost his bag on Wednesday on the way here, so there was a lot of different things. But anyway, I decided to stay behind and take my shower and take the second shift because we were going to do this in shifts. We were going to have the morning shift with people staying at the booth for a couple hours and then switch out with us, but that didn't happen. So they got there and they were saying you have to leave, and I think that they expected us to be violent or aggressive, and we weren't. We asked why. I wasn't there when that particular thing happened, though. Mm-hmm. I was not there for that. But that was, the atmosphere was.
You have photos of this to prove it.
And they said that I think at one point they told them that they weren't doing it fast enough because soon the congoers were coming in, and we needed to be out of there before they opened doors.
Sock Puppet Joe wants to know, can honey badgers come to Los Angeles?
I don't know. It would depend. The thing is, we are, we're limited by what we can do with, the funding that is available to us through, donations and things like that. Whenever we do something like a fund anything or anything like that, that's the way that we're able to keep the radio going. Pay for equipment, fees that come along with hosting, our content and creating archives of that and hosting the website. All of that is done through donations. Even getting us out here took a lot. I was skeptical. I didn't even think that we were going to make the amount that we needed to get everybody out here because it's so expensive to pay for plane tickets and everything.
Yeah.
And I had to take 3 planes to get out here and get a passport. I had to travel a town over to get my passport and go through all of the stuff. It was kind of a pain in the ass, but it was totally worth it.
Well, okay, so Mad Cat wants to know, if Calgary Expo apologized and lifted the ban, would you go back?
I don't know.
Would you personally want to go back?
The thing about it is that I still would like to engage with other exhibitors and see the people who are coming to the convention and things like that, because I'm at my heart, at my core, a total dork, and I love that there were so many things like steampunk and all kinds of neat things, and there were a lot of creators that I would like to meet, and so a part of me wants to do that, but at the same time, like knowing that there might be hostility, we probably would ultimately say no. We would want to go, I think, but it's difficult.
I have a question. Would you go to E3 if you could go with Milo and be his entourage as the Honey Badgers?
I don't know. Wait, okay, Milo and his perfect hair.
Yeah.
And,
Would you fall in love? You sound like a robot.
Yeah.
It's tempting.
Is there any way? You,
It's tempting.
a way that you
I'm not really.
is there a way that you can get closer to your modem or the Wi-Fi router?
I don't know.
And Rachel, the answer is, if you want to attend E3 as Milo's entourage, the answer is always yes.
Even if it's just to
I would like it,
attend
but I can't
freaking
speak for the other
E3.
badges, and that's why. I can't
Rachel,
really.
I would go gay for Milo.
Yeah.
Ew.
Question is, would he go straight for Rachel?
Probably not. I'm not nearly hot enough.
Well, you never know.
But yeah.
How do you look in a fun?
Oh, Rachel just left.
Oh, I was
Or,
making a
no.
dumb penis joke. Oh well.
What did you ask?
No, it's probably her connection. She has issues with it.
I was just saying, since Milo likes the dick, how does she look in a strap? That's all. She might get Milo if she looks good in one.
Well,
That-
don't
that-
you know,
that's-
Rachel's a Fuda.
This is the time.
Yeah, but looks
where
like
we spread rumors.
yeah, I guess Rachel's little hotel internet thing wasn't quite working.
Yeah.
You can
Wait,
never
the
trust
thing
what's
had like
going on
out.
there.
Oh, there she is again.
Sorry, the call dropped for a second.
Yeah, I was
We were
just
spreading
telling
rumors
how
about you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be really cool to hang out with Milo.
Well, if you go to the meetup in Washington D.C., you'll be able to hang out with him.
I don't know if that's possible. Like I said, I don't really have a lot of money or anything like that. But that would be really cool
Well,
if I
there
did.
are people.
Yeah, if
that
I
are
had the
organizing-
money, I'd go.
There are people
Uh-huh.
organizing like carpool type things where they'll go and pick people up and they'll all go together somehow.
Oh gosh, well, I guess if you're going to South Carolina, maybe that might be cool.
Mostly to meet all
Probably
the
a
people I
massive-
know that are going. Sorry.
It'd probably be a massive detour though to just to come get me.
Well, you
So
never know.
oh,
Somebody
gosh.
might be close. So you
Yeah,
just keep your ear to the ground.
Yeah. So wait, what day is this gonna be?
It's May 1st.
May 1st? Oh, that sounds really cool.
In the most dangerous
Well-
part of America, Washington, D.C.
Yay!
Where the most white-collar criminals are.
Unfortunately, we'll probably miss the cherry blossoms, though. So I think they're probably already gone.
It'd be great if we could get the whole hug patrol there.
That would be fun if we felt like
Imagine
raising.
we could actually hug each other.
Yeah.
Hey!
I just I would go if it was in actual Washington State, but it's Washington D.C. and I don't want to have to fly in a plane because I hate planes.
Well, I guess that means
I love going to Washington State,
Not
though.
that bad.
Seattle's awesome.
I'm really hopes.
Washington State is just right above Oregon, so it wouldn't be that bad. Or Portland, that would be a great place to have another meetup because there was one there before, and then they got kicked out of the area.
I guess I better start walking now because I'm not gonna make that.
But I was gonna
Yeah.
tell people, since I'm probably not gonna be there at the meetup, that people should just bring otter plushies and then just take pictures with the otter plushies and stuff. I think that'd be fun.
You know what's really funny though? The first sign that we got of shit was that something was brewing was when Patrick Klepek messaged.
Huh?
We're still getting more information. Hello?
Alright, is she sounding like a robot to just me, or is everyone else hearing that
Everyone
too?
else is hearing it, but we were just kind
Yeah.
of.
Rachel.
Well, the connection is unstable, unfortunately.
That's hotel internet for you.
So Patrick Clement.
Well, no, we're in, No, Klepek.
Yes.
Yeah, Patrick
Yes.
Klepek. Klepek, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And he contacted Karen for an interview, which they canceled later on. They said that they want to do it later on in the week, and then Karen's like, "Well, I don't know. Like, we might be busy then." and it's true, we might be.
Well, you
Hello?
should just do your own convention outside of the Calgary Expo. Just do it right in the middle of the street.
To see if a
In the
Starbucks
middle
will let
of
you
the
set up in it.
street.
And then all the women should go topless and protest.
You can only really get away with that in, like, New York City.
Maybe.
No, seriously, New York City, it's
I'm pretty
not
sure that
illegal
there's a
for-
joke somewhere about being an racist.
Everyone should just go naked and protest.
Yeah, no offense, but I'm gonna pass on that.
Yeah.
Me too.
So,
There, I might
any
not.
other
I might
questions?
but-
No.
I don't think we necessarily have any other questions, but people want to know, Rachel, can you prove you're not a robot?
Can I prove I'm not a robot?
Yes. Can you
Um,
prove you're not a robot?
Come on, people. She's a
Okay, try, but the connection is unstable, so I don't know if I'll even be able to put on video.
That's fine.
But maybe later when we have I think we're gonna try and stream again
Uh-huh.
from the same place that we did the other night. So I guess you can just wait for that. But
Okay.
for now, I'm gonna go and get some water and food and things. So have a nice night, okay?
Okay, thanks
For supporting us in all
Alright.
this crap. Thank you so much.
Good night.
No problem.
All right.
Take care. Try to find some good bit out of all.
Bye. Yeah. All right. See you guys around.
Bye.
Talk to you later.
Yeah,
Okay.
Patrick Klepek is the one who apparently wanted to interview them. He's also the one who wrote the article on Kotaku, which starts off with a lie.
Ew.
Okay.
Yeah, I have an archive of it. It's the very first sentence. The Honey Badger Brigade, a group of men and women.
They're all
Well, there
women.
are men within it, so
It's more like a group of women who have men working with them.
who have male
It's a group of men with, a group of women with a token dude.
Yeah, and they say sympathetic to the men's rights activism. No, they are men's rights activists.
So I think just
So,
Lauren.
Nothing fucking
I'll
wrong
give
with
you guys the
anything.
link to the archive.
Lauren, can you hear us?
I don't even see why equal rights shit's even political.
Well, it is because equal rights is wrong.
Especially when that means giving women exactly what men have.
Yep.
Indeed.
Lauren, you with us?
She might be setting up the microphone or something. She was struggling to get into the Hangout for like the last hour. Not hour, last like 30 minutes or something.
It sounds like she's got things being set up right now.
Yeah. But I don't know if you guys heard, I was in that one stream, the Kotaku in Action stream.
Yep.
And I was talking about this, and just like always, I ended up getting all emotional.
Yeah, I sent you a message.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what that was in reference to?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what's this?
I was,
Anyway. I want to get all
Never
emotional right
managed to
now just
catch
thinking
the
about
Kotaku
it.
streams. What happened?
I was just talking about how I felt so welcomed by the Honey Badgers. They've had me on like 4 times on the Honey Badger Radio, the program, and I felt so welcomed by them and by Rachel and the fact that they, oh man, I'm gonna get emotional again. I can almost do it on command. and the fact that these people are saying these horrible things about them, that they went there just to cause problems, is just such bullshit, and it makes me so upset. But yeah, anyways, so I talked about that and I cried. I'm gonna be known as the otter who cries on streams.
Oh, whatever.
It's okay.
Jesus cried.
It's just this proof that you love everybody.
Yeah, even Otter Jesus wept. Oh, now we're being sacrilegious.
No.
Yeah, but to be honest, that's my
Otter Jesus
favorite
needs a
verse.
hug.
To be honest, though, the Jesus wept verse is my favorite verse in the Bible.
My favorite verse is the one where he flips a table.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good scene. Even Jesus got mad. Anyways, so yeah, I brought that up because I'm a silly otter who likes to express emotion.
On the same stream, I think we got a new king of pole.
Really?
Yeah, Cause or Zam, I think his name was.
Oh, he's been on Honey Badger Radio. He was on an episode with me.
I know, that's what I was talking about.
Oh,
And how is he the new king of pole?
because the king of pole is like kind of a negative thing to say.
No, it's not. It's not bad. He was just kind of like flipping out, kind of like pole.
Oh, you mean he was getting upset?
Yeah.
Well, let's just hope he doesn't spill any spaghetti.
That was righteous indignation, to be honest.
I'm not.
I was totally supportive of him getting upset like that, because yeah. I know what you're saying, Darkstar. It's just I felt like there was nothing really wrong with him getting like that, because it's just, this is all such bullshit.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with getting like that. It was
It's nothing. It's not all this shit that's happened. There's nothing welcoming about it. Like, I would never ever dream of going to an expo that did shit like this, to go to a con that acted like this and treated people like this.
Well, see, the problem for me now is the local convention that I go to, which is Edmonton Expo, is run by the same people who run the Calgary Expo. So
I gotta
pretty
go
much
check to
saying,
see if
"Fuck
my.
it, I'm not going this year."
All right, what's this? What's the people that run those expos? I want to check what.
They're for Canada, though, so I don't think you'd have to worry about them in the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah, they only run, as far as I know, 3 expos here, which is the Calgary Expo, the Edmonton Expo, and the Saskatoon Expo.
Okay, so I won't have to worry about my.
Although I'm wondering
Colorado
if they might run
conventions.
Fan Expo too. I'm not sure.
The Mary Sue article was updated.
Oh, what really annoyed me is when I Googled it, admittedly with Bing, because I like getting points for shit. When I Googled it, why is the Mary Sue considered a news source? It's a personal blog.
It is. And here's the thing. I'm going to let you guys in on this, because you should know this. The Mary Sue has one of its editors, as you know, Sam Meggs. Sam Meggs was the one tweeting about this stuff. Sam Meggs' boyfriend is a guy named Teddy Wilson, who works for Space Channel. Space Channel is one of the primary sponsors of the Calgary Expo.
Mm.
Of course.
So, gee, a little bit of nepotism there.
Isn't that always the thing?
Nepotism everywhere!
You get nepotism, and you get nepotism.
Honestly,
You
I wouldn't
don't-
mind
I-
being
I-
subject to nepotism. Like, nepotism is fine so long as I'm the one being nepotized.
Look at my nepotism. My nepotism is amazing.
You want to be the deputy? Deputize the nepotism? I can't even say that 3 times fast. Deputize nepotism.
So there is one thing that may work in the Honey Badger's favor in this. One of the other big sponsors is actually the city of Calgary.
Yeah, we were talking about this, where we listened about this earlier, where they may be under pressure to look into this, the city of Calgary anyway.
Yeah, because of the fact that it is literally attacking it. It's like you have an event here that the city of Calgary is sponsoring, and they're kicking people out because they don't like their ideology.
Yep.
Yeah, and even then, the ideology is honestly, in the whole scheme of things, really, Gamergate is a minor internet thing compared to some of the stuff in. Like, I know some people might get angry when I say that, but
No, you're right.
like.
We're not minor. We're relatively unimportant in the grand scale of shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I was trying to say. We're unimportant in the grand scheme of things, but still, the fact that somebody's getting kicked out over disagreeing with how free speech should be handled is
That's not why they were kicked out. Let's be honest, though. Like, they were not kicked out because of anything they did. They were kicked out because people didn't want them there.
Yep.
I don't know.
And they didn't want them there because they took a stance.
Up gays because you don't like gays. I mean, they obviously want to protect gays, so want to protect everyone else too.
They were kicked out after they asked the questions, which means a lot of people didn't understand what HBR was until they started asking questions.
Okay, they weren't kicked out because of the questions. They were kicked out because people didn't like the questions.
You're right. That's what I'm saying.
The panel. Yep. The panel did not freak out when the questions were asked. They did not do that at all. They took the question, and it was honestly very friendly. Although, like, Allison has a strong voice, and she did kind of go like, "I'm a men's rights activist. Would you like me to respond to this statement you're making?" And so I can understand some very weak-minded person being, "Oh no, I'm terrified," but she was not doing anything wrong. She was interacting with the panel. And
but also look
you can't handle hard questions.
Also look at the complaints. They weren't even validly there. Those people that were complaining were doing it through social media.
Yeah, so there's no way to prove if they were even there or not.
Yeah, there really should be a policy to make sure that people complaining are actually attending the convention. Like, I don't know, show a picture of your badge or something.
Well,
Twitter complaining should not even be like a thing. You should not take people tweeting at you seriously when it comes to something like that.
Any troll can do it. Can pretend to be part of anything if you're only caring about social media. Just any random anonymous.
Well, and they didn't even prove that they got that many complaints. No. They just said that they did get them.
Typically, one needs to be a part of actually a conversation in order to be harassed. We're not talking about online harassment, but if you are somewhere in a different state saying that they're harassing you because of their existence at a public area that you're not at, the whole thing about harassment falls the fuck apart, and it's kind of pissy.
Yeah, Mad Cat said in the chat, them getting kicked out has nothing to do with Gamergate. That's the funny part. They were kicked out for supporting men's representation in comic books. That's really true, because what they asked, what Allison asked, was about men's issues and tying it with comic books, and then Sage ended up coming in a little bit later and saying something, but it was Allison who brought this up, and they ended up talking about it more later. Somebody else was saying something, and they were talking about this issue, and it didn't derail anything.
Really, it's something that a lot of what I like to call the good feminists, the ones that actually care about what they're talking about and actually give a shit about
the
issues.
Feminites.
The Feminites.
The Feminites.
Oh, the Feminites. I thought you were saying like Feminites, like knight in shining armor.
Well, that could be a term.
But like they were just like pointing out the double standards is just as important as like double standards that negatively affect men is just as important when it comes to representation and such, because let's face it, say the double standard about a man being raped is something that really, really needs to be tackled, because these double standards in media at some points do sort of shape our perception, although really it's more like they're a mirror to society rather than the puppet string.
It's wrong. Double standards are bad, period.
It's funny that you mentioned rape, because men being raped, because I was reading this Deadpool comic. It's technically Agent X, and many people pointed this out to me last night when I noticed it and took a screenshot of it. It's not Agent X isn't actually Deadpool. He just has his personality somehow. But this character Agent X ends up he knocks this one bad guy out, and he ends up taking a toilet brush and shoving it up the guy's butt.
And it's played for laughs, right?
Well, that's in the comic, and Gail Simone wrote it. Gail Simone, who's very popular with feminists, wrote this scene, and that's what you meant, played for laughs. Yeah, it's basically played for laughs, and the female character's like, oh no, don't do that, that's gross. And he does it, and it's just like, I couldn't believe I read that. Because it's the same scene.
Gail Simone still denies
It's
the
not
fact
even a
that Tarantula
common
basically raped Nightwing.
When has she actually denied that?
Or she
didn't write that.
She didn't? Or
No,
oh,
that was Devin Grayson, who changed her last name. I think she might have changed her last name to Grayson.
No, I think Gail Simone defended it, though, or something.
Maybe. I've never seen
She got
anything.
mixed up in the entire thing.
If you can find links or like screen caps of that, I'd love to see it, though. But yeah, Gail Simone is very hypocritical. But
Honestly,
the comic that I read last night, that is so disgusting. It would be one thing if it was like a toilet plunger or something, but no, it's something that would destroy his intestines. That's just it's so disgusting, and I couldn't believe it that it was in a Marvel comic, written by someone who acts like she's like, oh, feminism, blah blah blah, and then this is fine and funny. It's just disgusting, and I've made this stream get really dark. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Honestly, I mean, there are times where I love Gail Simone as a writer, and times where I want to never pick up and read anything that she writes ever again. Because I don't like all her political stances, but I do like her ability to carry a story. But then she has these tasteless things and does not realize her hypocrisy about it.
She also acts like a child on Twitter. Like, I've seen her, like, some of her tweets. This one time, there was this one, like, I think it was like a congressman or something, or a Republican one, and they're all bad, as we know. She was saying these really childish things about him, and linking it's directly to him. Like, he was tagged in it, so if he was checking, he would see it. And after a while, she started mocking his actual physical appearance. It's just like, what? Right?
You shouldn't mock people's appearance.
This is really sad that.
Argumentum ad hominem, one of the worst ways to argue and debate ever. And I think the reason why she started doing that is because he did what you generally should do when people are bugging you on the internet and ignored him.
Yeah, but he was talking about something, I think it was like Middle Eastern politics. It had nothing to do with feminism or anything, and she was just like, oh, this guy's an idiot, let's make fun of his appearance, ha ha ha. But it's so childish. Solid
Low blow.
said, Andrew, she did change her name. Grayson was crazy. Devin Grayson apparently changed her name. The one who wrote her Mary Sue raping what is his name? Nightwing. Ended up changing her last name to his last name. That's creepy.
Yeah, Tarantula is definitely a self-insert. I could have sworn Gail Simone made some sort of comment on it that was basically saying it was consensual, but I can't for the life of me find it, although I did find a couple of other objectionable things she said.
It doesn't matter what the author says, it matters what happened in the actual thing. Usually.
Yeah. I didn't like Gail Simone's comment on it because she is such a vocal activist against this sort of thing, and then she ignores an entire, like, it just
makes me sick.
Bugs the shit out of me.
Anyways, yeah, it's just this is a major happening, guys. It's happening.
Wait, didn't Gail Simone also write that time where Wonder Woman used the word mansplaining in a comic seriously?
Wait, when they had the guy like tied up?
Tied up with a lasso of truth,
No, that
and
was
then
someone
he.
else. That was a digital online comic that was part of it. I don't think Gail Simone wrote that.
Wait, it was digital online. Was it? Is it still canon though?
I think so. It's digital online stuff. It's a way to like get audiences who don't read comics apparently.
Yeah, but still.
They'll like look at it, but they won't pay for it.
Yeah, but clearly, I mean, Jesus Christ, the lasso of truth compels people to tell the truth. It forced him to mansplain.
Oh yeah, this is a wonderful tweet by Gail Simone. Look, Nightwing's ass is prominently displayed because he's an acrobat, and that's all. Thanks a lot, male reader Killjoys. She's such a child.
Really, I honestly don't mind all the fan service in comics. I just wish there'd be more fan service for the people that liked guys. You know, even it out a little bit.
But there's tons of fan service.
Well, wasn't there Conan the Barbarian?
Well, why is he basically naked? Why is he naked? He should have a bra at least. He's got those big boobs.
No, he needs a bra, and he needs to not sleep with women.
Yeah.
But that fan service thing was a joke.
Oh, okay. So you were pretending like you were something else.
No. Like I'm saying,
I don't know what I just said.
If anything, I want if I want anything about fan service in comic books to change, I want more buff men in tights.
Yeah.
We're men in tights.
Basically, the joke being that any change in fan service, I'd just like some more targeted towards women readers or gay male readers.
Well, yeah, like, so are you acknowledging that there actually is a bunch of that in comics already?
I'm acknowledging that there's already a bunch of that in comics already, but there's definitely not as much intentional female-targeted fan service as there is male-targeted fan service, which I don't really care about, but still.
Well, the thing is, like, fan service is a thing, but it's not a quality thing. So if they put it in, it's basically a marketing aspect.
It's a marketing aspect, but also sometimes it's just the artist showing off.
And there's nothing wrong with fan service, but there is something wrong with people saying there should be no fan service for men, but there should be some for women. Fan service for women is fine. Fan service for men is fine. It's a way of.
Well, I want
I know.
Women, but they don't want me to look at pretty women now, do they? Yet I'm a woman. Where's my fan service?
Well, you should go read the Grimm Fairy Tale comics by that one crappy publisher who does Charmed season 10.
Oh, fuck Charmed. I want my I want shit for lesbians.
Really though, I don't mind fan service unless there's like too much of it, like High School of the Dead.
What is that a manga?
It's an anime, and there's this one scene where they spend like 30 seconds switching camera angles to watch as the girl's boobs bounce while the car goes over bumps.
But would they do it for a guy's crotch?
No.
That's misandristic.
There's also this scene where somebody's shooting a zombie.
Because Japan doesn't give two fucks.
I know.
Yeah, honestly, still, this is more of a personal taste thing. If you like that stuff, fine. Good on you. It still turns me off of the show.
I think you shouldn't have all this fan service in shows with more serious stuff happening. It's fine for comedy, or at least like a little bit here and there.
So what do you have to do? I don't know. Really?
Lauren!
Basically, don't have Catwoman and Wonder Woman fight in the mud pit during a serious arc. That's saved for the comedy arc.
Yeah. What if it was Catman and Catwoman fighting naked?
Well, no. Never in the mud. It's always in the Jello. Come on, get it straight.
Because Catman is a character that Gail Simone has basically turned into nothing but female fan service and beefcake.
It was really cool in like Secret Six.
Secret Sex?
Secret Six, which is actually one of the things I
know what you meant.
when Gail Simone wrote it. I liked how she wrote Bane in Secret Six.
I was thinking about they're doing a new printing of when the Villains United with like the first couple volumes of Secret Six in it, like a big trade, like 300-page trade. And I was thinking about buying it, but then I was like, but Gail Simone, I want to wait till I can
It's
buy
the
it.
only good thing I've ever seen from her. The only one.
I like the first volume of her Wonder Woman run.
I
And
haven't
then
read
like Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey was really good. But then the
I love
fourth
Birds of
volume
Prey.
is like super, like it's out of stock everywhere, and it's like you have to pay like $100 for it on Amazon. I'm like, no way. Anyways.
Really, like I said, Gail Simone, there are moments where she's great and she's on a roll and it's good writing, and then there are moments where you're just like, why did I like her other stuff?
Well, she did that one comic, The Movement, which is just like absolute social justice warrior rhetoric. Because it was about it was the opposite of a bunch of rich kids with superpowers. It was like there was the Green Team and then the Movement, and the Movement was her thing to do, and it was like trying to be like feed off the Occupy Wall Street movement, which was like such a smart idea in terms of marketing.
Yeah, in terms of marketing, I think, yeah, but now that I think about it, I tend to like Gail Simone's older stuff rather than her newer stuff.
Well, her Deadpool run is not very good, honestly. It's really...
I didn't like her Deadpool run, but I think that was
Some
when
of the
she was
dialogue
newer.
But yeah. Anyways, she ended up like leaving and going exclusive to DC after Marvel kind of fucked up with Daredevil, not Daredevil, with Deadpool and like trying to make it more X-Men by doing Agent X and then being all stupid about that. And so she left, but now she's like a free agent again, and she's done a few minor things for Marvel, and then she's doing Red Sonja, which she removed the backstory, the rapey backstory or whatever.
That one might have been an executive thing because
no, she chose to do it. She asked them, and they're like, "Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and do it."
The Red Sonja rape backstory was actually one of the more controversial things
but it was
about the
part
character.
of the character until she came along and removed it.
But wasn't it about just overcoming that and not letting it be your defining moment?
She didn't like the idea of a woman overcoming rape and becoming a strong, powerful woman that could rival Conan, apparently.
Yeah, that was the whole thing about it. That's why I thought she was awesome, because that's a good role model for a kid. Because people go through traumatic shit.
Yeah.
So I liked Oracle.
Of course, with Red Sonja, there's like people almost joined a bandwagon when it came to that with her. I mean, a lot of female superheroes and supervillains were suddenly retcons to one of their primary motivations was they were raped.
Well, there was Jessica Jones, who rape was part of her backstory, but it wasn't her being raped. Well, mentally she was raped by Purple Man, but he made her watch him basically rape women by making them want to have sex with him, and then he would do it in front of her or something like that. It'll be interesting to see them probably not include that in the Netflix series they're doing about her, which comes after Daredevil. So,
yeah, we'll see. Yeah, but I do wish, I understand that rape is a touchy subject, but I wish it wouldn't be a taboo subject to write in fiction.
Well, by making
it's
it
a taboo subject because feels.
Well, by making it taboo in fiction, it also makes it taboo to talk about in general, and it makes people not want to talk about it, and it makes men not want to talk about it because they feel like, well, I can't be raped because that's not something that happens to men. It's a women's thing, and it's very touchy, and then feminists will actually respond to a man talking about him being raped by a woman and say, that's mansplaining, get out of here, this is a safe place for women.
Well, but that's the thing, that rape is not a gendered issue. It happens to men, it happens to women. And when men are silenced against speaking out about rape, then it becomes something that only women can talk about. And that's complete bullshit, because it does not just happen to women, it happens to men, and on equal measures, if not more. You know?
Also, never talk about women raping other women, because that's taboo, because women would never rape other women. Women are perfect.
Right.
Well,
Oh, right.
there's also the bullshit argument that rape requires like penetration with something, so therefore forced sexual acts by another woman would not count.
Well,
Another woman could.
Hold on. So you're saying that a woman could not say rape with a strap on?
Or fingers.
Or, like,
Well,
there's lots of part of the body
no.
you can
Like
use.
basically, the argument is it would only count if it were like, say, a strap-on.
Or if it was
right. I mean, the definition of rape as it stands today is forced to penetrate. Okay. So yes, forced to penetrate.
FBI definition right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
God,
so
why?
that absolutely removes males from the equation. So men can't. It's not that they can't be forced to penetrate, but as far as a woman is concerned, you know,
anyone.
right, you know, so it skews the statistics, and it causes this rape hysteria, because if you change the definition of rape and rape victim, then your statistics are now skewed in a sense that precludes men from even being a part of the equation. So
unless a tool of some sort was used.
Right. But how often does it happen that a woman is forcibly using an inanimate object upon a man? I would say indefinitely less than a woman actually forcing a man, or I think there's the problem when you say forcing a man, because erections are involuntary. Men can have erections, and you don't have to do anything for a man to have an erection. And women take advantage of that fact, or the ones that choose to rape that man use that as you know, hey, he was hard, so he must have wanted it. Well,
there was this one instance where there was this woman who was speaking out about female sexual predators who would go after young girls and boys and stuff. The feminists attacked her for like something like, how dare you say the truth. I remember watching a video. It was just like, this is really disturbing, because she goes into how they can do it, and it's just like how like female child sexual predators will like molest children and rape them, and it's just like, this is horrible.
Keep in mind,
want them not to talk about that.
Yeah,
keep in mind, if a 14-year-old boy sleeps with his teacher, the teacher does not get in trouble, the boy does. If the genders are reversed, teacher goes...
We gotta protect our perfect women's.
Right.
Who could do no harm to anyone.
Right.
But
No,
but you gotta realize that, yeah, majority happens to men, but if a woman ends up hurting another woman sexually, they also hide that, because it still hurts the narrative that women can't rape. That's the crux of the narrative. Women can't rape. They can't rape each other. They can't rape men. They can't rape children. They don't rape.
Right. And I wouldn't say that, you know, it's kind of hidden that you know, women don't rape men. It's a fact. It happens. It's just not given the attention in the media that it is when a man does the same thing.
There's no gays in our country. Gays don't exist in our country.
Right.
Anyways, but yeah, let's try to move off of this very dark subject a little bit and get back to something a little less dark.
I still don't understand what the fuck people mean by sea lioning.
Well,
Like,
they.
I get what they mean. I just don't get how
Do you want to know?
sea lion.
Have you seen the comic? Cause
I've
I
seen
can
the
explain
comic. I'm just wondering where the frickin' sea lion aspect came from.
The sea
That-
lion is because they didn't want to mention that it's about a black person, and they don't want to. They don't want to actually talk about other people. It's a racist piece of literature that they picked up because it's a sea lion. I'm not racist.
No, I don't. I
It's a
don't
way to
even think.
dehumanize anyone that is communicating with them.
Yeah, but
it has
why
nothing.
a frickin' sea lion?
No, it has nothing because of the nature of a sea lion. They like you know they
make funny
step
noises.
Right, they step up in front of the attitude, or not attitude, but their nature is to just interrupt whatever's going on and have this loud, boisterous noise. Okay.
What about
See-
penguins? They do that too.
Do they? I've never heard a
I can't make a
penguin.
penguin noise. But they like
I've
flap
never-
around and be silly and steal
Right,
fish.
right. But I think here's the thing with the sea lioning. It's bullshit. Okay. You're
Sea
just
lioning is literally just saying, I would like to engage in this debate since you brought it up.
Right, right. And what
Yeah.
they do is they take your, they take your statement and they view it as, oh, well, you weren't a part of this conversation from the very beginning, and now you've seen a part of this conversation, and you are coming in, and you're just trying to interrupt. No, you could have a very valid point that you are bringing to the conversation, and just because you were not around for, the beginning or the entirety of the conversation, that you are now sea lioning, and somehow that's supposed to be bad. I really don't understand how that's a bad thing.
Okay,
Because
in the chat,
in our social media world, that's how it works. Everyone is not available to be a part of the conversation when it happens. So if I have a conversation with someone and then 3 or 2 or 1, whatever amount of time down the line, someone decides to join in and be a part of the conversation or have something valid to say, it's now seen as sea lioning, and sea lioning is something so bad. No, the fuck it's not. No, this is another person giving their opinion, and how about you shut the fuck up, because this is a public forum.
Yeah, exactly. That's what gets me. They're like, you weren't part of this conversation. Like,
Right.
you wanted to have the conversation in private, take it to PMs.
Right.
in the chat on YouTube, Bill Fitch is like, social justice warriors like to club baby seals on their docks in San Francisco.
No, they don't. Listen, I lived there for a long time. They do not do that.
Well, you never
but
know.
no, I mean it's true. People who have such a strong opinion do not want to hear the opinions of other people. And that is why I feel there is such a problem with Twitter right now. Any dissenting opinion is shut down, and shut down hard. They don't want to hear the opinions of people who think differently than they do. And it's really sad. I retweeted.
Blasphemy must not be spoken.
Right. Right. It's like
religion for you.
Well, yeah, ideology. I
Sorry,
term that
ideology. I'm Krista Pagan, so I'm making fun of my own people sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, it's they just do not want to hear dissenting opinions, and it doesn't matter what side of the spectrum you come from. I think the owners or the CEOs at Twitter, they just do not want to hear anything else than what they feel mirrors their own personal opinions. And it's just so true. I mean, Janet Bloomfield, to this day, how many months has she been fighting for her reinstatement to Twitter? And they uncategorically refuse to get her back onto Twitter.
Very saucy, but she really should not be being forced off of Twitter like that.
Right, exactly. There have been more opinions that I have seen come from people that are just way, just completely more inflammatory, I will say.
Yeah, compared to social justice warriors compared to her, she's like Winnie the Pooh.
Right.
The real irony about all this is that these are people expect you to change your views and then go on about how people can't change their opinions.
Right.
And there's no winning. So why even bother listening to them if they're not going to accept it when you change anyways?
Right.
They're defeating themselves here.
Right, exactly, and that's why I think it's a good thing that Twitter went public, because the people have the choice whether or not to stay with them, and I'm really pushing for people to form a different site, something different, something other than Twitter, where you can express yourself and not have to give a fuck about what the CEO says,
Like
because
Tumblr? Oh, wait.
Well, I mean, I've never
Tumblr can be nice if you avoid the political aspect. Get out of politics. And
Tumblr is the Wild West.
Avoid
Everyone's got
fandoms.
Tumblr is the Wild West because there's hookers everywhere.
Yeah, I've never been a part of Tumblr, so
It's funny because it's true.
It is a place where you say whatever the fuck you feel you want to say, but I don't know, I can't speak too much on Tumblr because I really haven't spent too much time there, but I think the thing that Twitter has that Tumblr does not have is the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a difference within Tumblr and say Instagram. Like, you have to be following that person and that person has to be following you. Whereas Twitter, all you have to do is mention a person's name and you can get a message across to that person.
Sort of do that with Tumblr now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
However, they don't
Tumblr,
get an alert, they just get it in their activity notes.
Yeah.
On Tumblr, one of the ways you can kind of keep yourself safe is by never using hashtags in the at the bottom of a post where you can link stuff. Just never use any of those, and no one will ever bother you, most likely.
Unless you happen to get the odd follower that will blog it and tag it, and then you're just like,
yeah,
oh,
but
fuck me.
As long as you're not as long as you're careful with that, you won't encounter all the crazy people. But yeah, when you do that, it's beware. Oh yeah.
It doesn't, though it does help a little bit that with most of the tags where you'd end up getting harassment from saying something that goes against the flow, there's so many parody posts and satire posts and posts just to piss those people off that you're probably going to slip through the cracks anyways.
And then there's I can't remember what it was. Never mind. I was gonna say something, I completely forgot what it was. But yeah, Tumblr can be kind of not so bad. It's just, oh wait, I was gonna say, as long as you don't, especially when it comes to Tumblr, when it comes to fandom stuff, like TV shows or whatever, as long as you don't talk shit about stuff that you don't like, you'll also not be murdered.
You may mention a ship that somebody doesn't like, and you might get
Your waifu is shit.
Yeah, it's basically like that. Worse, honestly.
I mean, but
Like, Hero isn't so great. I'm gonna find you and kill you.
I don't ship Naruto and Sasuke. You must die.
But where are we when we, as a society, where are we when you cannot be vocal about the things that you don't like and not be lambasted into oblivion? You know what I mean?
Well,
Here's the thing. Everyone has an opinion. Every single person has an opinion. But what is happening is now, if you want to be a public person or a public figure, you kind of have to toe a line.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not really fair. It's really not fair. Because, you know, I do not find myself fitting into very many categories when it comes to, of course, feminism. And so what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to shut up? If I want to be a public figure, am I supposed to shut up and not say the things that I really feel strongly about?
It should not be illegal to have an opinion.
A feminist or social justice warrior would respond to that by going, talk shit, get hit. Basically, if you say things that aren't popular, you deserve to be punished for it because people don't like it.
Well, if you say something crazy, I expect people to say, "Ha ha, you're crazy," but I don't expect you to be, arrested or kicked out of an event.
Exactly. And that's
respond to speech with speech.
Right.
An actress or something might come out and go, I think Mitt Romney seems like a good candidate. That person is evil. Kill this person for saying that.
No, you could say, well, you don't like Mitt Romney and you think they're wrong, but you shouldn't just threaten to kill them. But
right, it shouldn't.
There were multiple actresses, like there was the one who was in Clueless, I think. Stacey Dash. And then
Oh yeah, no, she's absolutely not popular among feminists because she's very conservative.
Yeah, I'm a conservative. That person needs to get hit good.
Yeah.
I'm an optimist Deadpool conservative.
Yeah,
I'm liberal leaning, but I'm not like I have no idea what my political
I'm
stance
liberal
is.
leaning too.
I gotta take those online quizzes or something.
My optimist Deadpool, he's conservative, but we agree on and I'm liberal, but we agree on 99% of all issues. So I might as well just be a conservative because I don't think it really matters at the end of the day.
No, it does.
I just don't.
But it does. It does. You know,
not when it comes to personal relationships.
Right. You're absolutely right. I consider myself a small L libertarian. Okay. People from the left and the right like to go against the libertarians.
I'm a libertarian.
I'm fiscally conservative, but socially I'm liberal. I don't think that there is anything that people should be. You shouldn't, like with the drug laws.
I agree with you.
You should not be trying to convict people who might do something. Okay?
Yeah.
It frustrates me to no end.
I'm basically libertarian.
Well, there are certain drugs I'm gonna say should stay illegal, but pot is one of them.
Like what?
I do think heroin, the selling and distribution of things like heroin and
okay, but
that doesn't actually stop it from being distributed.
Exactly, and it's kind of like it's like with anything else. If you put a law against it, you can make any law against any drug or activity you want to do. It does not mean that there will not be people who will find a way around that
no, my
and
brothers
do it
are
anyway.
My brothers are.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, we can't. It will just make it more expensive for the people who want to do those things, okay? So if you outlaw heroin, you can do that. That's fine. The people who want heroin will find the heroin.
Oh, trust me, I know. My brother is a recovering heroin addict.
But why don't we allow it to be sold, tax it, and use the tax to pay for recovery?
Listen, my issue with the harder drugs is that, like, I don't like those harsh punishments for possession and use. Those are
no.
Oh, God,
no.
No,
However,
it's absolutely ridiculous.
I do think the punishments should stay harsh as they are for distribution and selling.
No, see, and that's where I disagree. Okay, because then it becomes what qualifies. Not me. I don't think so.
It doesn't put this way. You still have a profit motive for the people who are distributing and selling.
Right.
There's still millions of dollars to be made in the distribution and sales.
Exactly.
Many more millions for in the short run for the producer than it would be if it was legal.
Right. And it's going to come from out of country, you know. It's going to continue to come from out of the United States, and you know, whatever it is that you make illegal, there are going to be people who will find a way to bring it in anyway.
That doesn't just because.
Would you agree that we shouldn't ban guns?
I am pro 2A. I am completely pro 2A. I have several guns in my house. I am looking for more. So
but I do think the logic of people are going to do it anyway. So why should we shit logic? To be perfectly honest, people are going to speed. So why should we enforce the speed limit?
Well, here's the thing.
People are going to beat their children, so why should we punish them?
Like I said, that alone should not be an argument. And I'm just saying that so you can improve your argument. Okay?
No. Listen.
Beating your children.
Let's not get too debatey here. Okay?
Beating your children, speeding.
I was joking about that.
Those are not all material goods. If you outlaw a material good, which there is a demand for, people are going to buy it. If you outlaw a specific service, which like prostitution, or hell, even if you outlawed something simpler like maid work, there's still going to be a demand for it. You're just going to increase the amount of money that's going to be made off it.
Exactly.
Like
You're going to increase the cost.
Like I said, I don't think buying or possessing or using should be illegal. I just think the act of selling it should be illegal.
But see, that goes against. Okay, so you are okay for the people who feel a need to do this thing, but you are trying to prohibit the ways in which they have access to these things.
No, I'm actually not okay with drugs at all. I just understand addiction is a form of mental illness and that most people can't control it. By making it less accessible, that it will hopefully encourage them to seek out recovery so they're less reliant.
But let me stop you there, because by quote unquote, I'm assuming you mean by making it less accessible, you mean putting more laws against the ability to obtain these drugs, but
no, I'm saying getting less of the product on the street, like keeping more of the product off the street.
Right, but let me explain to you what will happen. Just because you ban something doesn't mean that it will stop the flow of it, or what will happen is it's going to make it more expensive for people to get the drugs that they want, and then, I mean, it will just be completely worse, okay? Because the people who want these drugs and the people who are so goddamn adamant that they want these drugs, that they will do anything to get these drugs, will just cause more havoc and chaos because they don't give a fuck about your laws. They don't care. They
Like I
want
said,
X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
and
Say what you're gonna say, but then let's move on from this because this
Yeah.
is kind of.
I'm just gonna say, do not tell me what drug addicts think. I had to live with one for a year and a half, so I get that they don't understand, that they don't care about their laws. But I also live in a state that legalized pot, and I see the ramifications happening. Keep that in mind.
You're talking about pot, okay? And
No, I'm saying
let's
that
not
if it
talk
goes
about
the
this any
same
further.
path, it's not going to be as easy and nice as you're portraying it.
okay,
There is
but
a shade of gray here.
okay, but
Okay.
you,
Just
okay.
want to get in one last.
Okay.
Just want to get in
Alright.
one last point. Pretty much.
Hold on.
What can I do? Please.
Lauren,
Okay,
just say one more thing, and then let's move on.
You are talking about pot. I am talking about me
No,
living.
I am
Listen. No. Please let me
You are
get
putting
my
words
point
in my
in.
mouth.
Please let me get my point in. You are speaking about pot. I am speaking about my father, who not only was addicted to pot, but addicted to very many other drugs. And it did not matter what it took for him to get it. He got it. So,
Okay, I'm just going to say, when I've mentioned several times, I was talking about harder drugs like heroin and cocaine. I use pot as an example of how I've seen the laws affect, and I've mentioned several times my brother is a recovering heroin addict.
Okay, now
it
you have both said your piece.
it would not stop anyone from getting what they want,
Lauren,
no
Lauren,
matter the
I think
cost.
Gwen wants to talk about something. Gwen?
I done.
Gwen!
So there is. I was just wanting to alert people to something that I found that I thought was really cool, just to change the direction of things to something a little more positive. There is this website called Travel by Drone where people upload videos of footage they've taken with their drones showing off different parts of the world.
That's creepy.
Here, just let me link it. It's really pretty. It's like I'm probably never going to see most of the world as much as I wish I could, but I just go and I can look at all these things, and I just want to say people should check it out because you can, especially if you're creative a type, because you can just see all these different places all over the world. People showing images, you get like all the different views. You can see what the drones flying over lakes and cities, and just see all these different amazing places, and I just think it's really cool, and I think everyone should just check the site out at some point, and because it's really great to be able to just experience these things with our new modern technology that allows us to just experience so much stuff we wouldn't otherwise be able to experience. Positive is my positivity injection.
Yeah. That sounds beautiful. It took, there was, I am a avid listener to the Tom Leykis show, and there was a listener that came out for his 3rd anniversary party from Sydney, Australia. And when he comes out, Paul Beatty, when he comes out, he travels, as much as he can. And he informed me of something that I had no idea. There are huge stone brick arrows across the country, and what those were used for was for the Pony Express before we had such sophisticated postal services. But there's so much of this country that a lot of Americans don't know about. So I forgot where I was going with that, but
Just trying to Be chill. That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's so many beautiful things to see and go and do, and just please do not live in your own little corner of the earth because there is so much out there. There really is.
Yeah, I grew up in the Philippines, so I saw a lot, a small part of the world that most people don't actually really ever encounter, even within pop culture.
Yeah.
Which is always very sad because pop culture just portrays the Philippines as, oh, that's the place where they have the prostitutes.
Yeah. Where do you live now?
I live in I lived in Pasadena, California.
Oh, I
And
love you.
I used to live there.
My brother
Yeah.
lives there.
And then we moved to Southern Oregon.
Okay.
So yeah.
Wait, who's we?
My family. I live with my
Your-
parents.
Your whole okay. Do
I'm
you know?
I'm 26 and I still live with my parents because I'm autistic and life is kind of hard sometimes.
Oh, that's fine.
I know. I'm just clarifying so people don't think I'm
Do you?
a strange
No.
person. who's eating
No.
my parents.
No. Anyone who would think any differently, knowing that about you, is not really worth knowing. So fuck them.
Yeah.
And
I would want to talk to that person who felt that way and try to get them to understand.
Yeah. Have you heard of Tom Likas?
No.
Oh my God. Do you follow me on Facebook or
Not on
Twitter?
Facebook. I just started following you because the whole DM thing wasn't working, but I try to follow only a small amount of people.
Wait, is this Andrew?
This is Otter Jesus Andrew Gleason.
Oh. I'm mad because you just started following me, but I love
I'm sorry,
you.
I can follow only a small amount of people, and
I know.
Icer is like following 1,000 people.
I know, honey bunch, but I know, but listen, if there is any message that I could leave upon this earth is that you listen to Tom Likas and listen and not just listen and shut him down. Listen and really listen and understand what he's saying. But I love you so much, honey bunch. You're such a sweetheart. I really appreciate you. I really do.
Thank you. I appreciate you appreciating me because, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing. We don't have to agree on every single thing, and that's fine with me. I just would like for you to have an open ear, which I think you do. And if you're going to have an open ear for anyone, I would hope that it is for Tom Likas, because if you are listening to him, you are listening to me. I just this week I was likened to a female Tom Likas. So
brother, have you heard the word of Tom Likas?
I have, and I repent.
Reject
The Tom Likas show.
Yes.
Reject
American talk radio personality.
Yes, he is.
Reject liberalism, reject the Democratic Party and all its works, and accept Tom Likas into your heart as your Lord and Savior.
I don't reject everything about the Democratic Party. I am a left-leaning, small L libertarian. I am
like me.
Yes, I am. Socially, I am liberal. Fiscally, I am conservative.
I think that a lot of people are in Gamergate, not just Gamergate. A lot of people, a lot of my generation that's not complete idiots.
Yeah.
I consider myself used to consider myself very conservative, but Now I'm more and more leaning towards just being libertarian.
Yeah, see, and there was a point in my life where when I first moved to California, I had gotten this job, and there was the lady that was teaching me to take over her job, and it was right when Bush was about to come into office. And, you know, she was asking me about my political standings, and I was kind of hesitant, you know, because even at that point, I didn't know anything about anything, so I couldn't really make a stand. At that point, what I knew was that I was not really Republican, but, you know, I have since learned a lot about that. But, you know, so she says to me, "Oh, you're not Republican? Oh, well, honey, give it a few years and you'll be Republican." You know, but even to this day, I'm not Republican, but I am absolutely conservative when it comes to certain issues.
Are you registered as a Democrat?
I am not.
Oh, okay.
I'm not.
Well, it just depends on what you're registered as. I'm registered as a Republican, I think.
I'm registered as independent.
I don't.
I just feel like the odd one out.
I wish they allowed independents to go to both parties' fucking things. They should.
Primaries or
right.
Yeah, all that shit. They should let independents should be allowed to go to both. God darn it.
Yeah,
well, there was like a thing in Oregon where they were trying to get a law passed that's saying that they could go vote in those things. Like independents could vote in that stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
That was kind of weird.
I mean,
it would help even out the politics a lot because there's actually a huge surge in the number of independents.
I think
more and more people are becoming independent.
Right. I think everything that just was said was absolutely true. I think there is an evening of the. It's not such polar opposites right now. There is an evening of the parties, and I will never vote for Hillary if she makes it. It just won't happen.
I'm waiting for Jeb Clinton and Hillary Bush to just run against each other.
I don't think they're going to let him run. I don't think the Republicans are going to let Jeb Bush run.
If they field anyone other than him, they have like no chance.
Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of who they're going to let, because think about it. Who does the Republican Party have to trot out? I don't see very many people.
Well, they could always just finally go Ron Paul all the way.
Actually, my dream ticket is a very weird one. I want Ron Paul and Ellen Grayson. I was really happy when they reached the aisle and they fought the Fed. They literally, a Republican and a Democrat worked to fight the Fed because the Fed is bad, but they didn't win because it's pretty much only them.
I mean, here's the thing, you know, it does not matter who we elect into office. They are all going to be the bitches of the Fed. And what, you know, it's going to be the majority of what the constituency prefers over, you know, public fan bases, because that's what it is. It's fans. It's fans. It is people who look at Hillary and say, "Oh, you go, girl."
I saw this one person on Twitter going like, "It's Hillary's turn. She deserves it."
No.
What bugs me the most about Hillary Clinton is that she feels like she's entitled to become president of the United States.
There's people who think that she is entitled to that too, who aren't her.
Why? Because her husband. Why? Because her husband has his dick blown by someone else?
No. And Hillary is running with that ideology that, oh, you know, I belong here, and no.
Honestly, that's what caused her the platform last time when Obama took it.
Yes, exactly.
Because people couldn't stand it.
Exactly.
People found
Hillary,
Not to mention her with Hillary, she has an entire graveyard in her closet.
right.
And with her,
Right.
she's both a close personal friend of Henry Kissinger and Sam Brownback.
always bring that up, and I'm just like, so are a lot of people.
I mean, if Jeb Bush throws his brother under the bus, really says, I'm not like George. George did a lot of things wrong. Jeb Bush should have
Yeah.
a good shot.
I'll
say,
be
yeah,
right back.
yeah.
My puppy wants to go out.
I will tell you this much right now. If it was Hillary between Jeb Bush, I would hate myself, but I would vote for Jeb Bush.
Same here.
I
probably
will
would too.
never vote for Hillary. It just will not happen.
One thing that could happen would be the Democratic Party is superficially backing her right now, but later, but again, she's not strong enough to stand up to the entire Democratic Party.
She's not.
If the party bosses throw her under the bus at the last moment.
Yeah, but I mean, then who is the second come-upper? I mean, Elizabeth Warren, who I am completely behind.
I don't like her.
Oh, I love her.
Let's not get into that.
She has a whole bunch of problems associated with her, but
I want to see for the Republican ticket. I want to see Mia Love on there, just to see all the people who think Republicans are racist, sexist, minds explode.
I don't even know who that is. Mia Love?
Who's that?
Yep. Well, look her up. She's a Utah representative. She's a Mormon. She's black.
Well, so then she's
What's
not.
her stand
It's
on,
not gonna.
She wouldn't run,
bringing
but I
back
would love
Don't
to
Ask,
see it.
Don't Tell.
Doesn't
She
matter.
seems like a really awesome person.
Doesn't matter if she's Mormon and she is. I mean, she's black and she's Mormon.
Yeah.
My mind is blown.
Even your mind is blown.
Even my mind is
You got
blown.
a lot of hate.
I'm going to bed.
Hello?
Have a great night.
Good night.
All right, my love.
Night.
Have a good night.
also with Mia Love, she's a Tea
Now we have
Party. And the Tea Party, I mean, let's face it, the Democrats did a good job of the Tea Party, but the Tea Party handed them a lot of material to make themselves look bad with. Mia Love
Could never forget the Tea Party for the trying to default on the debt. That
Oh,
was the only thing.
whatever. You guys, come on.
Mia Love was one of those Tea Partiers who she's
Yeah.
in the Tea Party, so
Really
again,
evil.
a lot of people are
Local
really
sports
tired.
Gamergate.
Look, defaulting on the debt would have been economic suicide. Simple
Thank
as
goodness
that.
it didn't happen. Or did it? No,
Huh?
it didn't.
No,
didn't.
but it didn't happen. But because he got so close, we lost over $20 billion.
Well, then maybe the president should have done something.
It was not the president couldn't have done anything other than
No.
mint $1 trillion coin on his own, which would have been a bad idea for multiple reasons.
We didn't because of that. We didn't have the funding to attend an Asian conference. We let large sections of we let China, because of that. China was making some important political moves during that thing. We lost a lot of influence in Asia to China because the Republicans.
Lost all the influence in Asia when Obama became president.
Yeah, but
Not
again, but the Republicans made it worse by not allowing him to even, during that time. That's when China was making a really big push for political power in the area of Asia, and the Republicans decided, hey, just when Obama's actually about to do something.
The Republicans actually went, oh no, let's make sure we don't have any influence in Asia.
That's pretty much what they did.
No, that's not the case. I'll condemn. Look, the debt ceiling already had pretty much as close to a scheduled date as when it was going to expire as it is. The only reason why it coincided with that talk was simply because the amount of money agreed to extend the debt ceiling by happened to be a nice round number that we just happened to spend on just enough that we ran out around that time. It really, literally was a coincidence.
It was a coincidence, but I'm not going to excuse the Republican Party. They sabotaged, even though the president.
Okay, hold on. We all know the Republican Party wants to kill all Americans.
No,
What?
they're incompetent
That's
fucks.
all figured out.
No, they're incompetent fucks who in their
Now
efforts.
say it about the Democrats.
Kill all Americans. What the hell is this? I mean, what?
He's being really hyperbolic, and
Yeah.
I don't appreciate it.
No, I mean, listen. Okay, our country is not in a place of negotiation right now. We just are not. I encourage everyone to watch a video by Terrence Popp. There are enough nuclear reactors within the United States that can be hijacked, and it can be over for us. It does not have to hinder on whatever happens abroad.
Let's try to move away from politics, though. Now, okay.
I do want to make a positive statement about politics, though, since that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Before this whole thing started, I admit I personally had believed some of the smear that happened against a lot of Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
But after the whole thing after 8 months of this utter bullcrap, I just say fuck it with identity politics. I'll focus on issues regardless of left, right, whatever the fuck. They're just arbitrary groupings of ideologies. If I want something fixed, I don't care what color your flag is. I'll support you.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, it's like I felt the same way, sort of, about politics from my perspective as originally, I was very conservative and being very anti-liberal. Now I've kind of like, yeah, okay, there's issues and stuff, but yeah, like not all liberals are bad.
Well, see, I think what happens. I think what happens is we think about our country or our world as we only think in two dimensions. We think about, what could happen and what can happen. But Mother Nature will throw us into a catastrophe that we were never prepared for. Much like Katrina.
Which was Gamergate's fault.
Stop it. No, it wasn't. Shut up.
You mean what? You mean you didn't get the message when we...
I didn't. Oh my god. No.
Yeah, you weren't invited to the time travel party?
Jesus.
We all had to get naked.
Really? I'm gonna have to talk to some brothers and see what's going on. I've never heard about that. But anyway, no.
Anyway, yeah.
There are natural phenomenon that can happen and will happen to the globe that will completely throw everything that we think. It will just turn it on its axis and just make us think different ways if it doesn't kill us in the process.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
This is just going to get more and more weird as time goes on. I mean, hell, one of the people who works on the Greatest Warriors web series started making some anti-Gamergate rhetoric, kind that we saw back in October.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of thing which we would be better off dead because our bodies would fertilize the earth and actually contribute something, that kind of bullshit.
Right. Well, there are always going to be people who contest the words that we speak, but it doesn't matter what side of the fence you stand on. Nature is going to make the final destination. It is going to make the final decision about where we are, and if we are not united as a front, then we will not be able to combat the choices that people have made before us. So, we could be forced into a nuclear war, but if we have not sheltered ourselves against that, then we are doomed to succumb the consequences. And I'd like to just use that as this is what could happen. It's not necessarily what will happen, but kind of like a fairy tale. If you don't watch out and make sure that you cover your own bases, things could happen outside of your realm, outside of your control, and then you're just kind of fucked.
I'm not even sure what you're talking about, honestly.
I know.
Yeah, I have no idea either.
Let's change topics and talk about Batman vs Superman trailer that was leaked.
No, let's talk about the Star Wars trailer. I am so hyped.
No, I don't want to.
I didn't see it, so no, let's not.
Let's talk
I
about
watched
it
it and I
because
was
Otter Jesus doesn't like Star Wars.
I don't like it because the fans
freak.
are terrible. I'm sorry, it's true.
Is this not like how can I want to watch?
You want the link to the trailer?
Yes, please.
On YouTube.
Yes, please.
Star Wars episode.
Is it all doom and gloom?
No, but it looks so.
The Millennium Falcon looks awesome.
Well, yeah, but it's so pandering towards fans of the original trilogy. It didn't feel like it was offering anything new, honestly. It's like,
that's kind of what trailers do.
No. That's no.
No, seriously, you watch the Batman trailers. They pander to the comic book fans that read the comics. That's just how advertising is. And
actually,
really,
trailers are meant to pander to the largest audience possible.
Honestly, that's what the first trailer did. The second trailer is to hype up the longtime fans.
They should have had Carrie Fisher in there. She should have been in the trailer.
I'll tell you what.
On his face.
Honestly, you can't really blame the director for that, though. I mean, they're not the ones that make the trailer.
I'll tell you what. What is happening with movies, be it Star Wars, be it Fast and Furious, if they want us to spend the money to go see the movie, then the action has to be on the screen. Okay? Because otherwise, I will sit at home and watch the shit on Netflix or, Showtime, HBO, whatever. I would rather not spend my money in a theater to watch a movie that doesn't perform. But if in a situation like where Star Wars has always provided on the screen, and Fast and Furious has always been, the money is on the screen. The money is on the screen. So if I really have a hankering to see this movie. I will spend the money and I will see it on, in a movie theater, and I will not be disappointed. But the movies that fall into that category are very few and far between. So the movie industry is going to have to adapt to people who feel like I do, because there are a lot of us.
You mean it's not worth it to always see movies in theaters?
No, it's not. It's not, especially with the adaptation of 3D HD TVs that you can buy and put in your home. The other weekend, I spent the weekend at a friend's house who had a...
Sansa, no, go to sleep. Sorry, I'm talking to my dog.
It's such a funny outburst to have.
I thought I put myself on mute.
It's okay.
My dog is just...
to hear that.
But his name is what? Sansa?
Sansa. Like,
Sansa.
Got a red hair. Yeah. See, I read it before I heard it, so that's just what's in my head.
Yeah.
I say it's her name with an American accent. There.
Yes.
But movie studios have been adapting to the idea that their audiences aren't as big anymore. Although that's not really true when you have something like the original Avengers film making massive amounts of money and going like right beneath Avatar and Titanic in terms of box office. Right.
But as much as the electronics field is advancing, like I said, I spent the weekend at a friend's house who had a 60-inch screen TV, and it was almost too much to sit in front of. But when these screens and the technology for television to be piped into your home is advancing, what really is the advantage of going to a movie theater to see these things? Because I can pause the movie. I can
tell you what the advantage is.
I can pause the movie.
You want me to tell you a secret?
Please.
The advantage is the experience.
Well, again, it's
spending time with a bunch of people in a dark room.
Again, one thing is you're seeing it at a much higher quality than a home thing could ever do, especially when you get into IMAX. There's just IMAX machines cost it costs millions of dollars to get an IMAX projector.
All right, so
not to mention movies are literally made to be watched on that huge ass screen. If you're gonna, it's harder to make out finer details and little background details and a bunch of other fun stuff on a small television or computer screen.
Right. Is that gonna stop me from watching it on my friend's 60-inch television at home?
No, you're not the audience anymore. You're not part of the audience because you've really made it clear that you're not interested in what movie theaters are offering.
And I think most people are not, because if you look at the prices of going to a movie theater and spending the money on the food, how much is a fucking bag of popcorn?
That's the whole thing, though. You just don't buy food there. You don't need to eat something in a theater.
All right, so
or
I'm spending.
Keep in mind, most of the profits for the theater companies itself come from the concession stands.
Right, exactly. And how many people?
But the movie studios, it's the ticket sales.
Yeah. Right. So there are not very many people who will sit through a 2-3 hour movie without wanting something to put in their mouth.
That's why you bring it in. You keep it personal.
That could be taken in so many ways. I am sorry.
Again.
They don't have one of those the security things like on airplanes where they deck your butt.
Yeah, but it's kind of rude to just do that.
Yeah, rude.
I don't think so.
Yeah, listen, rude. You want to stop people or the public from being rude? No. Listen, I will bring in whatever kind of food objects or food, whatever it is, if I want to eat it, and I know that usher is not going to check my purse. I'll bring in a fucking full course meal, because that's what I want, and I don't want to spend $5 on a large Coke.
Yeah. Again, but if you don't,
they are pricing themselves out of the market, and
But
that is the problem.
Keep in mind that part of the reason why the prices are going up so much is because there is a steady level of inflation. So you have to factor that into calculations.
This is much more than inflation. That it's to a degree, the reason the prices are going up so much is because the cost of running a business for a theater is just going up and up.
No, I disagree. Because I used to, I used to work in a movie theater. The cost of running a movie theater, you are putting a reel on the screen, and you walk away.
Mm-hmm.
You used to actually have someone supervise it the entire time when it was actual film.
Right, and that is no
really
longer there.
Yeah.
That is no longer there. Okay, you have the person taking the tickets, which is absolutely a minimum wage job. Then when you go to the concession stand, which these are people popping popcorn and making hot dogs and pouring soft drinks.
The reason why it's going up for going to the theaters because of Netflix, okay?
Exactly.
And here's what I wanted to bring up. Netflix is now getting original films that they're going to be releasing on Netflix, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon 2.
Exactly.
They're doing that, and Hollywood was like, oh no!
Exactly.
All right. Let's just see. Turn the topic slightly. So how about them sports teams?
Go Red Sox.
Honor.
I don't like sports. Sports is dumb.
No, stop it.
Attaboy.
No, they're not.
Crazy logic.
I root for Boston when it's on.
Okay.
I prefer going to live sports events rather than watching them on TV. One, because I have no idea what's going on, but at least when I'm at live events, I can at least try to get people to do the wave.
That is fun.
Oh, you're cute.
Just back to what we were talking about briefly. People in the chat, like Master Ninja's like, I smuggled KFC into the theater.
I will smuggle anything that I can inside of theater.
And then Datchet's like, I smuggled the vodka into a movie theater. Walked in sober, walked out drunk.
I love you, Master Ninja, and you are. Yes, I will do that.
Thug life, yo.
Thug life.
Lauren, just curious.
Yes.
What's your favorite drink?
Oh my God! What do you got?
Well,
I like dark liquor. I am a bourbon, whiskey, cognac kind of girl. I will not turn down any kind of vodka advances. Yeah.
All right.
I like IPAs. As far as beer goes, I like IPAs. I like the dark stuff, the very hoppy beers, which is hard to find around here. So I'm struggling. But
well, I'm never gonna drink alcohol ever, so I feel
why?
great. Check your alcohol privilege.
Why? I don't like getting drunk.
My uncle is an alcoholic, and I lived with him for a summer, and I'm pretty sure I'd be an alcoholic too, considering genetic stuff.
Gotcha.
I respect that.
And I don't see the point in wasting money on something that's not really that great for you in general.
I respect that.
I'd rather just drink water and then buy something expensive in terms of food.
Oh, I respect that. Oh, I love you so much.
I just don't like the feeling of being drunk. Tried it once, will not repeat.
You know what I do? Because I have alcoholics on both sides of my family. What I do is I respect that and I keep it at home. So if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to do it at the privacy of my home, where I know I don't have to get up and drive anywhere, and I can just enjoy myself within my four walls and be comfortable. Um, I think that's where a lot of people fail. And here's the thing within the United States, which a lot of people just don't understand. If drinking and driving was such a real big thing, why would there be so many bars that have parking lots attached to them?
Well,
Because not everyone goes to the bar to drink.
Well, yeah, okay.
And there's also something called the designated driver.
There is.
Yeah,
there
okay.
is, but what is the percentage of people who are actually driving people out of that lot? No, it doesn't happen as often.
So basically
as,
what you're suggesting is they should just have a bus stop in front of the bar?
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
actually smart, but...
No,
some bars
absolutely.
have that. Other bars have like you can go to the bartender and go, I need a cab, and they'll call the
Yes.
cab for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they'll have you go pick up your car the next day.
Right. And
The
here's the thing.
bartender, I need a ride.
Here's the thing. There are smart options, but once you are inebriated, how likely are you to take that smart option? So,
Depends on how the individual acts while inebriated. Not everyone acts the same under the influence.
Now listen, exactly. Now, and I can tell you, I have driven home numerous times where I woke up the next day and had zero recollection of what happened or how I got home.
That's terrifying.
It is. It absolutely is. But what happens when that happens and someone else was injured? I was lucky enough to have those situations happen where nothing happened. I got home safe. I was fine. Car was great. But what happens when there are people who make it home and don't really remember that they fucking back-ended into somebody? It just... The laws need to change. They really do.
Need to change how?
I think there needs to be more accountability of who is driving or who is responsible for getting a person home, which I think Uber...
Like when you go to the bar, they shouldn't let you in unless you have an escape plan.
Well, see, I don't know that it is the establishment's responsibility for making sure that you get home.
But the establishment should be encouraged to do that, I think.
I think so too. I really do think so too. But I think
it's good for the establishment.
I think, and here's the thing. Again, me personally, I take my booze and I go home and drink it. I do not go out to bars. I do not go anywhere and get myself to a point where I know that I cannot get home.
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people do.
I don't think it should be illegal for there to be a drive-through at bars. I mean, that's just dangerous.
Well, that's Louisiana, okay? There are
have those?
drive-through. Yes, absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
There are and I went my last visit. There are drive-through places where you can go and get you a liquor, and they say that as long as you do not put a straw in the cup, that you are okay. Well, I don't really need a straw to drink my liquor. But that's the law there, you know. I do not advocate being drunk and driving a motor vehicle outside of your own house, which of course wouldn't happen outside of your house. But if you're going to drink, I think you should take it home and be in the house for the night.
And with that, I think we should probably end this Hug Patrol.
All right, Otter Jesus,
Kind of a
you
not a
win.
micro headache.
My Otter Jesus wins.
So yeah, we went on kind of long, anyways.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we did.
So everyone say good night.
Night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Otter Jesus. I love you so much, and I'm so happy that I was able to talk to you finally.
I love you too. Have you
Oh,
talked to you before in a stream though?
All right.
no, not with us. Well, I don't know. I've been on with Sargon. It's been a while since I've been on a stream, so
Okay.
I don't know.
Keep it real.
Well, just
Yes, I
stop
will.
time whenever.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Love ya. Mwah.
Love you too.
Oh, my Otter Jesus, are you still there?
Yep.
Hi.
I think you need to go to bed, Lauren.
No, I don't. I'm so up right now, and I'm so excited that you're still around.
Well, I'm going to leave the stream now because I need to go take care of my food needing.
Oh, please.
And I need to pay attention to my dog.
And I want an Otter picture of you doing that. So,
Okay, I'll try to figure that out.
my love you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh.